Welcome to part 2 of my 2019 NHL mock draft. Last off, we ended with the 10th overall pick being selected by the Vancouver Canucks, and I have them taking Peyton Krebs. That's what we finished off with. That's all in the past now. Let's get to number 11 and the Philadelphia Flyers. I see the Philadelphia Flyers taking Matthew Boldy 11th overall, mainly just for the reason Philadelphia is really lacking, a left wing that could really play for them right now. And in their prospect pool, other than like Matthew Strome and Isaac Ratcliffe, two guys, I don't know how they'll pan out. I feel like Matthew Boldy is a really safe choice, and I definitely think he'll make it to the NHL. And I think he could be a first line, like two-way forward guy, like, maybe 50 to 60 points. But I definitely see him filling in that second line role for like an entire career, and he could be a second liner on any team in the NHL. But Philadelphia, like, when JVR is your top left wing, I think he's past his prime by now. I really think Matthew Boldy would be a bold choice to take for them. Next up, at number 12 overall, the Minnesota Wild will draft Ryan Suzuki of the Barrie Colts in the OHL. I really feel this is going to be one of the big risers of the draft. Ryan Suzuki, early in the year, projected to go around, maybe late teens, early 20s, around there, such and such. But anyways, I feel this guy has so much more potential behind him than a lot of people think. Ryan Suzuki played on the Barrie Colts this year. He was, they're not that good of a team. They came last in their division. He led their team in points with 75 in 65 games, including 50 assists and 25 goals. And he still came out positive with a +7. Ryan Suzuki, I feel, can be an elite playmaker in the NHL in the future. And definitely, the Minnesota Wild are struggling for prospects all around the board, basically, unless they can get Kirill Kaprizov to come over and play for the Minnesota Wild. They don't really have many prospects. Connor Dewar, Alexander Kovanov, you don't got many. Ryan Suzuki would be a great start to this. You're building up your center core. I think he might have to do another year. He'll definitely have to do another year in the OHL. He might have to do about maybe half of a season or something in the AHL, but then I can see him rising up into the roster and clinching a second line spot right away, and especially a spot on the power play. Especially since their older centers like Mikko Koivu, they're going to be out on their way soon, and that center spot is going to be very vacant for him. At number 13th overall, the Florida Panthers may select Philip Broberg. I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. I know, don't get mad at me. I know I said Moritz Seider is the second best defender in the draft. That doesn't mean he's going to be the second defenseman drafted. Philip Broberg is a very talented skater, but he does not have the IQ that I feel most players of his style should have. Sure, you can do some fancy skating and you can go all the way through everybody. That's really cool. But when it comes to the actual team play and aspect of the sport, it's not all there quite yet. I feel it will come with maturity because he's definitely a great player and he's got the skill to do it, but he's just got to do some growing up. Anyways, though, I feel Florida can pick him up, though. They are missing a left-handed defenseman, and he could definitely be a top 2 guy at his ceiling. He is a really good, really skilled prospect, and I'll definitely think we'll see him in the near future. At 14th overall, I have the Arizona Coyotes selecting my personal favorite prospect of this draft, and that is Alex Newhook of the Victoria Grizzlies in the BCHL. This year, he was named the captain of his Victoria Grizzlies, and he put up 102 points in 53 games. Very, very impressive for a 17, 18-year-old in this league. He's got his problems defensively. A lot of people say his effort, and all this stuff. But as a captain, it's all coming to him. Ever since though he was a rookie though last year in the BCHL, his defensive game and his competitiveness has really taken a lot more of an increase. You can see it in his videos. He looks so good out there. His offensive talent is just going through the roof. I would honestly put this guy way higher if he could prove it in a bit of a better league. I'm not saying that BCHL is by any means a bad league. It's an incredible league. So many good players have come out of that league, like Yost and Turris. But put him in somewhere like the WHL or the OHL or the QMJHL, you would see so much more. You would see. I think the scouts will be looking at him a lot more. I don't know. He's one of my favorite players, and I think we're going to see him for a long time. He's got the offensive talents of people like McDavid and Eichel and all these guys. He's got the shot. He's such a good. That's where I'm saying McDavid because of his skating. He is so fast. We're just going to have to wait and see. I would love to see him go higher, but for now, 14th from the Arizona Coyotes. 15th overall, I see the Montreal Canadiens taking Raphael Lavoie of the QMJHL. I really just think, partly it's going to be the hometown kid. He is from Montreal, but he does have a lot to bring to the table. He's a 6'4", pretty much a 200-pound right-handed center. Really big. He's got a really good shot for his, really just a really good shot. He could play winger if he really wanted to. His defensive game apparently was but apparently it has done some major improvements over the past season. Works well in all good zones. He's not as physical as some people might say. You should be for a 6'4", but he makes up for it with his scoring. I think in the playoffs he had 20 goals in 23 games or something like that. 32 points in the end. He's a great player, and I think the Montreal Canadiens should pick him up. Next up, I see Mississauga Steelheads defenseman Thomas Harley going 16th overall to the Colorado Avalanche. Mainly because, Colorado, they already got their 4th overall pick in this draft from the Ottawa Senators, taking Alex Turcotte in this one, at least in my opinion. So now you've got that center. Take the defenseman now. They got an abundance of right-hand defensemen now. You got Eric Johnson, Cale Makar. Cale Makar is going to be your top 2 in about 2-3 years. He's going to be incredible. Why not pick up a left-handed defenseman now who could shoot like a madman? I love this kid's shot, and I think it's extremely underrated for how under the radar he kind of is. Anyways, I think it'd be a great pickup for Colorado, and I hope they go through with it. This next pick is my favorite defenseman in the draft, and at 17th overall, I see Moritz Seider going to the Vegas Golden Knights. The Vegas Golden Knights are a team they are so good, and they got every type of forward that you want. Everyone, that forward core is insane. But their defense, you look at it and you go, they don't really have many. I think they only have 2 right-handed defensemen on the actual roster anyways, and Moritz Seider is a guy you can fit in there. I'm going to say at least when he's 20, and he's going to be insane. Just watch my whole video on Moritz Seider if you really want a deep insider. I'm not going to repeat myself again here. Moritz Seider is so mature. That's all I'm going to say, and he should be drafted earlier than this, but I think he fits best on this team. Next up here at 18th overall, I have the Dallas Stars taking Arthur Kaliev. This one is like Newhook, it's tough. Kaliev is one of those guys who could really be a top 5 pick if he had all the tools, but he's just missing that little bit. He's got a bit of effort issues, a lot of people might say. I think he's from Uzbekistan, but everyone just calls him a Russian. But he's got, that mentality, I don't think his defensive game is the strongest, his back check, all that jazz. But everything else about this guy, just take him for the offensive talent. This guy's crazy. And just because also it's the Dallas Stars, I got them pick him. Imagine, Jason Robertson and this guy coming up together, they're both from the OHL. So they've played against each other before, but, play these guys alongside each other and then holy, you could have something coming up there. You got the playmaker in Robertson, the absolute sniper in Kaliev. This guy's shot is insane. He's like a left-handed Ovi. I know that is a very hard comparison to make, but I think it's viable. Kaliev is a sniper, and he should be going a lot higher, but just like Newhook, he's going to fall a bit back. Anyways, I'd love to see him get drafted by Dallas. The next pick here, number 19, is a little bit tough for me just because I don't play the position and I don't really know how to analyze a goalie, but it's going to be Spencer Knight of the U.S. development team again. He had an incredible season down there. He had a 2.36 goals against and a .913 save percentage in 33 games for the U18 team, and Ottawa definitely is in need of a goalie. Craig Anderson, what is he, 38 years old now? He's going to be kicking out the door soon. It's going to take a little... And I think Craig Anderson will be one of those guys that'll play until he's 40. So you got a couple more years for Spencer Knight to develop in Boston College. He's going to be a pretty good goalie. I've had a lot of people say they've compared him to someone like Carey Price. I don't know how you do it. I don't play goalie. It's tough for me to make comparisons and actual statistical analysis on goalies. But either way, 19 overall, Spencer Knight. For the 20th pick and final one of this video in part 2, it's going to be Victor Soderstrom going 20th overall to the New York Rangers. New York is, like I said earlier, I kind of described their situation in the last video and their second overall pick, which I believe is going to be Capo Caco. Victor Soderstrom is just an all-around perfect defender. The only thing that really is what's sending him all the way back here is going to be his size, 5'11", 170 pounds. He is a right-handed defenseman. He hasn't put up insane numbers in the SHL, but you got to remember, 18-year-old in the men's league, it's still pretty impressive. He was also on the struggling team, Bayernas, I can't pronounce that team name. He's going to be a pretty good player, though. A lot of people compare him to someone like Hampus Lindholm. I feel like if he was a little bit bigger, his draft stock would definitely be a lot more intriguing. But either way, I think he's going to be a pretty good defender for years to come. Either way, that was part 2. Hope you guys enjoyed. Part 3 will come out in the next 2 to 3 days here. And I just want to tell you guys, I will be going to see rounds 2 to 7 in Vancouver on the 22nd, I'm pretty sure. The 21st, I forget. Either way, I'm going to go see it. I don't know if any of you guys are seeing there. Leave me down in the comments if you want to meet me or something. That'd be pretty neat or something. I don't know. I'm going to try and have fun there. Either way, see you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.